everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us. Why do we feel unhappy or not content with what we already have in our life? We're going to explore why you might be feeling stuck or unhappy and how understanding Dr. David Hawkins' consciousness scale map can offer a fresh perspective and practical steps to enhance your well-being. I'm going to explain about the map and then give you some practical advice using the map. Before I introduce the consciousness scale map, here's a quote I like from Dr. Hawkins himself. The true measure of your consciousness is not how you feel on a good day, but how you feel in the midst of the worst of your trials. This highlights a critical point. Most of us blame our level of happiness on external circumstances, but it's really linked to our state of consciousness and our reactions to those external circumstances. You see, the same thing can happen to two different people, but they will interpret it differently according to their state of consciousness. I like to think about this as a sort of filter. If you're in some level of consciousness, everything you see and feel is filtered from that level. A simple example is how some people will react to road rage. Some with anger and frustration, others with ease and acceptance. Another good example is true self-acceptance. It can only be attained in a higher level of consciousness on the consciousness map. Dr. Hawkins' consciousness scale provides a type of framework for understanding our emotional and mental states. The scale ranges from lower, more negative levels like shame and guilt to higher, more fulfilling states such as acceptance and enlightenment. I'm going to show you the map and read it from low to high levels. You're going to find that your levels are scattered in certain locations, and that's probably where you need to do most of your work. Beginning from the lowest: shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, where courage is the neutral point where you begin having more energy, more optimism, and take more responsibility for your actions. Next is neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. That's it. You will often find that you are moving between different levels to a degree. Most of us are in some level. So when we are talking about our daily happiness, this will come from the lower levels, as in the higher levels, we are more attuned to the present moment and less to external circumstances. As you can see, the lower levels are shame, guilt, fear, desire, and pride. Think about those things in the context of your happiness and your day-to-day living. If you find yourself struggling with persistent unhappiness, it might be because you're operating from a lower level of consciousness in certain areas of your life. For instance, if you're frequently feeling fear or anger, you're likely below the level of courage, which is crucial for personal growth and for your personal happiness. Many people experience a significant crisis around the age of 40. This is often referred to as a midlife crisis. During this period, individuals question their achievements, their life choices, and overall happiness in their life. This crisis is often a reflection of the dissonance between where they are on the consciousness scale and where they aspire to be. The realization that they've been operating from a place of unfulfilled dreams and desires can be overwhelming. That actually leads to feeling of anxiety and dissatisfaction with life. Let's look at some other practical example. First example is fear versus courage. If you constantly feel fear about new opportunities, you're operating below the level of courage, which is again the neutral point. To shift this, you want to start with small, manageable challenges that push you slightly outside of your comfort zone. Gradually, you're going to build the courage needed to deal with larger challenges in life. Another example is anger versus acceptance. If you find yourself stuck in anger or resentment, you're operating below the level of acceptance. Practice forgiveness and let go of grudges. Engage in sort of activities that help you embrace acceptance, like journaling or talking with a trusted friend or just self-acceptance exercises. And here are my 4 practical everyday steps to increase your happiness. Number 1, do your shadow work. You want to confront and heal your inner shadows, and this can help you move to a higher level of consciousness. This will involve addressing traumas or unresolved emotions. You will need to first recognize them by asking yourself why you feel negatively with some people or some activities. Number 2, rest and self-care. Taking care of your body is probably the most important thing that you can do to increase your happiness. You want to make sure you're getting enough sleep and make specific times for R&R. Number 3, mindfulness and reflection. Pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings. Practices such as meditation or the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique can actually help you stay present and reduce anxiety. Number 4, gratitude and optimism. Cultivating gratitude is one of the highest vibrational practices. Both gratitude and optimism can be incorporated if you fake it till you make it. In other words, you want to start focusing and understanding where you need to be a little bit more optimistic and force yourself to see the positive outcome. Here is my final tip for happiness. According to a study published in the journal Happiness Studies, happiness is more accurately predicted by our internal emotional states and our ability to adapt to life's challenges rather than our external circumstances. So, if you're feeling embarrassed or dissatisfied with your level of happiness, it's important to understand that it's often just a reflection of where you are on the consciousness scale. By identifying where you are and taking steps to move up the scale, you can significantly improve your overall sense of well-being. Remember, it's about small, consistent changes rather than instant fixes. By embracing practices like mindfulness, self-care, and gratitude, and by addressing your inner shadows, you can start shifting towards a higher level of consciousness and greater happiness in life. Thank you for viewing, and of course, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on personal growth and well-being. See you next time.